So I think we're on, right? Okay, so
We
let's
are
get
on.
going with this.
We are on.
I'm excited. I can't wait to get going with what we're talking about here. About a year ago, Greg and I had this idea. It was just before Christmas. It was actually about today, 1 year ago, that
Yes.
I was calling Greg. I was saying, Greg, hey, I've got this idea. What if we could get like tourniquets and bandages and things like that to Ukraine? Like, and so it didn't work out quite that way, but we still created he and his team created an Amazon site and that kind of sort of thing. We kicked it off on Christmas Day, and then we actually had like we thought, we'll get a few $1,000s worth of donations and we'll get it off to the front. Well, we created a real problem for him because he was shipping like pallets of stuff to Ukraine and like things that could help soldiers survive. Well, you want to tell him or you want me to tell him?
No, I'm happy to tell them we got everything ready to go here. And first of all, thank you for being here on my channel, Greg Turk Experience, and Prof's channel. And our big announcement is we're going to do our first NAFO joint campaign, not for a vehicle, but for drones, and specifically reconnaissance drones. And also, we're going to be doing it for a unit with whom we already partner with, the 54th. We have some
Mm-hmm.
video to show you. Zhenya, my partner today, and Professor Gertis, your partner as well, did some research and information to explain to people what these drones do and why they're so important. Additionally, we also have just some encouraging video to show over the next few minutes about the 54th and this group where this aid is going.
Now, I wiped out everything under my video except for the link to this campaign. I pinned it in the comments so you can see it. You can get right to it. Just use the link that you see there. Greg has done the same kind of thing. And so don't like give any super chats or anything along those lines. Give to the campaign if that's what you want to do, if you want to be helpful. We have purposely decided on drones. Like we have kind of a humanitarian bent, right? Like, so
Yes.
last year was like tourniquets and bandages and that sort of thing. These are reconnaissance drones that can help them stay alive, being able to have eyes in the sky to see where the danger is. And my fascination, if you watch my channel with drones, I talk about it regularly. So this dovetailed very nicely. And so you see the campaign page that he has there. This is the official NAFO campaign. And so can you enlarge the patch so
You
they
want to
can
do
see
that
what it
right
is?
there? How about
Because we were,
that?
we were actually talking about, well, what would we put on a NAFO patch if we did it? Because we started talking about doing a campaign some time ago, and we've already delivered armored ambulances, so we're like looking at something else. And now NAFO does trucks regularly. The armored ambulances we did were like hardcore armored, like they're beasts of things, right? So we started talking about, well, what about drones? And then we were starting to kick around, well, what would it say on it? I said, how about eventually, after we went back and forth, what, 20 times or something, we said,
Yeah.
well, what about Guardian Angel? And we were thinking about that in print, but somewhere they thought we meant draw a picture of one. And hey, we like that.
Oh,
So
this is
uh,
awesome.
yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to communicate. This is what we're trying to bring. So, okay, with that, the NAFO campaign, any amount, any donation that you can give, if that's what you want to do. When we did this last year, we said, okay, Greg, I know that there's this untapped, pent up, like I want to help more. I can feel it in my community.
Hmm.
Like, and now my community has grown some. Greg's is like tripled or almost quadrupled now since we did this last year. And so I know that some of you aren't familiar with what happened there, but I was like, I know people want to give. And in fact, you know what I did just before we got on, Greg, was I looked at that video that we did last year where we launched on Christmas Day. Remember that?
I
I
do
was wearing
remember
my elf
that.
hat. I just got my elf hat back out. And yeah. So I watched that video and it was like this weird trip down memory lane because we were explaining what we were doing and why we were doing it. And again, we didn't know if anything was going to come of it, but we do know that people care. Like people really, really, really care. And thank you for being the kind of person that really cares in advance.
Well, here's the deal. Additionally, and we have a slight advantage, and we're so thankful that everybody supports Ukraine in different ways. All the different YouTube platforms, Cars for Ukraine, NAFO projects,
Mhm.
vehicles. Um, Fortunately for us, the unit that we are partnering with, Jania and I already have relationship with. So
Mhm.
already, guys, and I'll let Prof talk about the goal that we are setting when we'd like to see this project done. I am leaving for Ukraine right after Christmas. I will be there at the beginning of January. I will be there into February for all the goings on, and we will be running aid to the front lines. One of the great things and benefits of partnering with this campaign, and I think we'll knock it out quickly, is I'm going to go to the 54th, and you will be able to see some of these guys. If you're here on Prof's channel and you don't even have a clue who I am, you know, we partner together nonstop, basically every day. We're friends. Um, just make sure you're linked here or linked to Prof. He'll be sharing it as well. So not only are we're gonna smash this campaign, and let me tell about the campaign, but then we're gonna back it up by I'm going to the 54th. I know exactly where they're at, and we already work with them. In fact, we're going to show some video to encourage you of work we've already done. But this is for the support drone unit of the 54th Mechanized Brigade. We work with the 54th Mechanized, Nebezhda Kara. And this is partnering with Dr. Darren Gertis and Greg Terry for helping this particular group, providing them with reconnaissance drones. The goal total is 30,500 US dollars. And honestly, guys, with communities the size of Professor Gertis in mind and the huge hearts that we have, even at Christmas here with the stocking hat on, we should be able to show this love really quick, looking to raise
I
30,500 US
in all
dollars.
honesty in all honesty, I'd wear the hat anyway. I enjoy the hat, but it's just an excuse to wear the hat, really. So
And these are for buying 27 reconnaissance drone units. And these reconnaissance drone units, guys, are a little bit different. And once again, this is the patch. I do know with NAFO, you don't do this through my site or Professor Gertis's site or anything on my website. Only
right.
in my description or Professor Gertis's description. And we will be pushing this on our update videos and my lives that we do going forward until we accomplish this. And believing very quickly, that link takes you directly to this website here, and it's easy. Donate, card, Apple, so all these guys, you do it all the time, Amazon or whatever. You do it right here. The one thing about NAFO, really cool, on this project, if you donate $110, 110 US dollars, you will receive one of these patches. It will be shipped to you from no matter where you're at. It says anywhere in the world. And I can tell you, one of my supporters and moderators, Dunk on you, and Dunk, thank you for the super chat and the bot memberships. You got that before Professor Gertis made his announcement. Everything tonight for this project. But thank you guys for showing the care and the love. We appreciate you. But he sent me a picture, Prof, of all of his NAFO patches. So it works, guys. It was like
Yeah.
10, 12 of them, just his support for NAFO. So you will receive that patch right there for a $110 donation towards this project. Now, we do have a couple of videos we want to show, and it's well worth the look. I have two specifically prepared from Ukraine. And Prof, whenever you're ready for them and how you want them, you just say you have the hat on. I just have the sweatshirt.
I'm ready.
So
I
the
was just
hat
putting into
breaks.
my chat. If you have questions, ask them, but don't give super chats. We're trying to funnel anything
Yeah.
that's going here into the NAFO. Just use the NAFO link, and you can say something in the super chat or in the stream of chat that you have. That's great. But we're trying to do this for the project because this is a pretty dire need.
This is a very dire need. And Dunk on you saying 15, but who's counting? 4 now, 5 on the way. So he's received 15 patches. So, guys, it works. Thank you for that. Niels Clement, member for 10 months on my channel. Donation done. And he's a conductor on the Hope Train. Niels, thank you. Guys, we want to smash this because I just want to get there, get to the 54th. we do a follow-up stream with Professor Gertis, and how about a couple of guys from the 54th saying thank you? So it'll be super cool. Do you want to learn about the drones first, Prof, or do you want to see what we did over the year and meet the 54th? Which one?
Let me qualify something. Thank you, Genobu Go. I always slaughter that name, even though you're like a moderator here. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for the donation. And then somebody else asked if it's going to be still going on next month. We plan to end this by the 1st, and then Greg's going to be in Ukraine shortly thereafter, like a week or 2 weeks later. He'll be actually physically in Ukraine, and you get to see some of this like unfold with the 54th. So.
I will be arriving in Ukraine somewhere in the window of 31-1-2-3, December, January, right at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So I'll be there.
Okay. So not too long after you will see Greg in Ukraine. Okay. So whatever you want to do in whichever order works for you, you're controlling the video. So
why don't we see and be thankful for what we did last year and have just finished with the 4 armored vehicles, which so many of our community members did. And you will meet in this video some of the 54th guys.
So hold on. If you're just joining us, just to recap, we have worked with this unit before, and this is an armored ambulance that we have provided to this unit that you and I and Greg and all of us that we've provided to them. And so we're not new to this.
No, we're not new to this. And we're going to do this one. And honestly, it just makes me feel good that we can ask people of the world to help in a specific project with a specific timeline, a specific goal. And then I really love it that we can get there and let the guys say thank you and actually meet who you're donating to. So this is incredible. Let's go now and see some of that work from over the last year and meet some of these 54th guys. How about that? Here we go. This is Zhenya, my partner, Professor Gertis's partner. Away we go. That's Slavyansk. That's the armored vehicles.
We are a part and representatives the 1st Battalion of 54th Mechanized Brigade Hetman Mazepa. Thank Charity Foundation NAPREM and thank YouTube channel Greg Terry Experience and other partners for helping us to get this medical evacuating vehicle, which will be doing hard and important saving life work in a battlefield zone. We're really thankful. And as our partners saying, don't
give up, keep on fighting.
Thank you. They told that there is a surprise, so I want look at this. Подяка.
Zhenya said thank you.
Так. Hey guys. The sugar cube. Vanilla sugar drone detector, the vehicle service, winch, night vision camera, there, checked with the monitor, 24-volt extra heater, the set of fuses, just in case. Spare and extra tire and tie drone system there. I don't know, can you see it or not? Extinguishers, screen wash. That's it. Our unit has a name, Legion. Okay. And I want to say from all of us, thank you. Dear friends and the partners, Charity Fund NAPREM, Greg Terry Experience Community, the first, Dr. Gerdas, Johnny Pierce, Rick the Ukrainian, Shields, all the great people who are helping to raise up this amount of money to buy these snatches and to deliver it to the front line. And here is guys, our soldiers, our fighters from 54th Brigade, 1st Mechanized Battalion. They got the vehicle, it's delivered, so it's going to help and save people's life. And we thank guys for what they do, and we, all of us, thank you for helping, for donations, for trust. That's it. Bye. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Pretty powerful moment there, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. And you know the world of good that's been done. And we won't be able to calculate how many people have been served by this, saved by this, alive because of it. But we know it will do good, just like like what has come before. And so, yeah, I'm sure it's even more powerful for you having been there. I'm experiencing it vicariously, but having like actually physically met these people. But
yeah, I
wow.
know those guys. You see Zhenya tear up there, man. It's because you guys
saw
don't
you tear up there.
Yeah, man, it's a problem. You don't understand.
No, that's not a problem. That's called being human, Greg.
Yeah.
Right? That's a proper response in this condition. That's right.
Yeah.
That's where you should be.
But you guys don't understand. Let me explain it to you. On day one, when the first missile flew, Zhenya and I were streaming. We had 5 people watching. Right now, between your channel and mine, there's, I don't know, 250, 600,
almost 100,000 at this point.
Okay,
between our two channels.
Between our two channels.
I mean, as far as the as far as the reach that we actually potentially have.
But what you need to understand, guys, is we used to scrape and do little donations on the corners of Ukraine and little donations to raise enough money to buy a stinking power bank. We would have a soldier ask us for a spare tire, and we didn't even have enough money to buy a spare tire. Since that time, we've raised over $1 million.
So while he regains himself,
drop these 4 armored vehicles, and not just dropped them, but that was with a lot of love from you guys. We don't just drop them and leave them. We maintain them. We service them. They have the best radar, drone jammers. You see the sugar cubes. Those are personal drone detectors. And Zhenya and I wear them on our clothes when we're traveling around the front. And people are just donating now. And we've done project after project and outfitted people and clothing and Amazons and all of this crazy stuff. And now we're going, okay, let's put some reconnaissance drones in the air to save these guys' lives. And Zhenya's going to tell us about those, man. But we've went from trying to buy a power bank to this. And I know that was what was in Zhenya's brain right there. I know those guys. And he's sitting here going, thank you, Professor Gertis. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Johnny Pearson. The list goes on and on and on. So it's emotional. And we say thank you. We've lost, guys, a lot of friends to this war. And it's emotional that we can put some eyes in the sky to save lives. It's important. And we'll hear about that in a moment. Right. So there you go. My emotional moment's over.
As you were talking, I was thinking at that time. So when we first connected, after you were on with Johnny, and then we started talking, we started concocting our last, our first big push, but at Christmas last year, I was like in awe because Greg had already raised like 250,000 scraping things together. And I was very frustrated because I didn't have any, like, I kind of pushing people toward Samaritan's Purse. If you want to give there, you can give to United 24. But like, I didn't really have a way to reach deeper, like what we're seeing here. And, so I was very glad to see Greg. My audience was many times his size at the time. And so I was like, okay, hey, look, let's get together. Let's work on this and try to, because my audience deeply cares about Ukraine. So it just worked out very, very well where we could amplify each other's efforts, and you all wanted to contribute and be involved. And so we're very grateful to all of you as well for that. So again, thank you. On to the next one.
Yeah. So what are these drones about? What do they do? Zhenya today made a call. I asked him to call some of these key um, drone operators that operate these drones and report to us and report to you guys. This is what we're investing in to help save lives there in Ukraine. Here it is.
Hello from Ukraine, and I want to start from this. This is the expression of thanks, this souvenir from 54th Mechanized Brigade, from battalion or the unit with the name Legion, and now we working on the other new project, helping the same brigade but other unit with the drones. And couple words about the drones, reconnaissance drones especially. So the time ago, before 22, FPV drones, we knew it was the drones for like hobby, like drone racings, other things like for fun, and the other type of drones was like people were calling like wedding drones. During these years, the situation was changed, and now it's using other way. Reconnaissance drones are important to get more information, and practically saying, as an example, it's saving life. It has a lot of different tasks, but the more information, most important, it's getting information. And our country, we standing against of Russian aggression, and this type of drones are helping different ways, like looking for the wounded, helping people to be evacuating, helping guys like to get a right, proper way, path, delivering medicine, transporting medicine on a needed place for the wounded, or water, even sometimes food. It helps to get more protection. It helps a lot different things, getting information to save the lives. So it's important, and it's just maybe quite primitive, but it's important. I will not go to details. As example, at today's situation, the reconnaissance drones are able sometimes to get a picture, and quite clear picture, on the distance between the object of the picture and the drone, up to 10-15 kilometers, because of the good optics. Sometimes the drones are flying on a distance from 1 to 5 kilometers up to 100 kilometers. It depends of what kind of drone, let's say like this. So we'll not give you a lot of words, but it's life saving, helping our country to stand, helping our guys to stay alive, helping getting information, keeping up the communication, and keeping up saving life, getting the new and most updated situation, what's going on. So that's minimum I can say. It's important. Beside of that, you know that at today's time, the drones are saving civilians' life, helping demining, and doing a lot of different things. Different type of drones does it. So this type of drone we raising money for will help Ukraine to stand, will help our guys to protect, will help our guys to save more lives and getting more information. So thank you, and probably I'm sure about you that you will have much more information. You will find much more information and much more details on the page of this project. Thank you.
So there you go, Prof. And I think one of the key things that Zhenya was sharing was the optical range for safety. These particular drones we're looking at have optics that can reach out 10 to 15 kilometers looking at enemy lines. I can tell you right now that many soldiers' lives have been saved because of these types of drones. When he talks about the delivery of medicine and food and waters, they'll tag team these drones where they're
Yeah.
doing multiple operations and looking, they're sure that area is clear. And then they will roll in food, water, medicine to guys that are maybe trapped. You start thinking about places like Karakova right now, where guys are in some tough positions, or Touretsk, difficult positions. A lot of drones are supplying key supplies to keep them alive and to defeat the enemy. But these types of drones are serious eyes in the sky. This is not just a little FPV you're flying up and trying to figure out what's happening in your neighbor's backyard. This is some serious optics here.
Can you tell them anything more about the type of drone itself, or what their capacity is? Like, yes, they can see far better. Yes, they can fly longer, or higher, or whatever.
Zhenya has requested the specific specs on these particular drones from an
We'll just talk about that.
We're going to talk about it later, because we don't want to tell exactly what they can do, but we will give rough ballparks. But it's shocking. But he was permitted to go ahead and tell us about the optics, because it's public knowledge. 10 to 15 kilometers, guys.
Yeah. That's really, like, if you got within 10 kilometers before, that's range for some significant drones. But like 15, that's pretty stunning. And the ability to see what they need to be able to see to keep their guys safe.
And drones right now during the winter, for reconnaissance drones are actually, I don't want to say more important, but they're more valuable right now, because the landscape is different. When snow is on the ground, everything that moves kind of lights up like a Christmas tree because of the dark. Even if you have the white camo on, you see that shadow moving. Additionally, it's just open. Leaves are gone. So these are vitally important. When you're dealing with the summer and you've got vegetation and thick vegetation in eastern Ukraine, they do their job. But right now in the wintertime, man, they can reach out and beam. And it is so important, especially when Ukraine does have a limited amount of soldiers. We need to save every life we can. I can also tell you, these drones are saving civilians' lives, because every day, guys, civilians are being evacuated from some of these tough frontline areas. For example, I can tell you now, some of these villages along the Karakova line, Dachny, moving over to Andriivka, Constantinople, they are being evacuated because the pressure is just too intense in the drones. These things are in the sky, they're looking, and they're helping to even evacuate civilians. So all around the picture, if we go back to even just how our patch looks here, it's angels in the sky, man.
That's right. And I think about the number of times Pete, the medic, was talking about them being pinned down by Russian drones just because they can see everything. And so same thing. The effect it'll have, just that they're there to see things, will help tamp things down. But it's just incredible what these drones can do. Somebody asked in my chat why Greg doesn't have a Christmas hat on. It's probably because I threatened him not to wear a V-neck sweater vest, because that's my thing.
We actually talked about this. He goes, I'm going to pull my hat out. I said, okay, you pull your hat. I'll wear the Ukraine sweatshirt, and we've got it covered.
I say, get your own thing.
You made a reference to
my fashion statement.
You made a reference, and I see people in the chat that are just donating. And I don't know how the NAFO site ultimately updates, but we 100% in every video going forward. I will speak for myself. This will be in the description, and we will be updating it and try to smash it as quickly as possible, and then get there and report this stuff to you. You mentioned Pete, okay? We were able to get the Pete's unit was able to get Pete off of the battlefield because of a drone. So if you want to know how powerful these are, it's When I was talking to some guys, oh gosh, it was
I keep talking about this in all my videos. Drones are game-changing technology. They are to modern warfare what tanks were in World War I. We're like, what? You can do that? This is where drones are, and it's hard to overestimate the effect that they can have for the military. Like they liken this more to World War I than World War II because you can see everything, and that's the big shift that has happened in warfare here. So having to see everything around them is going to be very powerful.
One
I'm
of the
sorry,
things,
I interrupted you.
No, you didn't interrupt me. It's right on what I want to say. I was speaking with a soldier in preparation for heading back over, and we're getting all of our runs lined up. We'll be working the entire front. And we were actually talking about this very subject because I had shared with him we're going to be doing a eye in the sky reconnaissance drone push. And he says, Greg, thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to Professor Gertis, and thank you to everybody that will donate. And I'm going to tell you why right now. I said, okay, tell me why. He said, yes, these things are like eagles in the sky with their optics and how far they can see. They can identify where there are holes in the enemy lines. They identify places where we can get through and get behind enemy lines to do sabotage or help our guys get out. They deliver medicine. They deliver munitions. They deliver food. They deliver everything, because when they tag up, it's literally like having angels in the sky with just laser beams, like superpower heroes with these drones. These are special reconnaissance drones. But here's what he told me. He says, out of all of that, the most important thing that can happen is when we are able to bring back our wounded and fallen. And these drones are why we can do that, because we have so many families that do not have closure. They've been told their family member is missing. They've been told their family member is wounded, or they've been told their family member is killed in action, but you never have that closure. And right now there are tens of thousands, literally, of Ukrainian families and people who love them around the world that do not have those closures in their family. And I can tell you, in the actions that were necessary to take care of Peter when he fell in battle was made possible by some serious heroes in his unit, and they are heroes belly crawling out in a war. But they were able to do that because of these birds in the sky safely. So there's a plethora of things that happen with these particular drones, and this is why we chose this as a project.
Yep, that's right. That's right. What's the next video, Greg?
No, that's all of them. I just about the 54th, and also Eugenia sent me this little short one. He says, I don't know whether to send you a short one or a long one. So here, I'll play it for you. It's this one.
Hello from Ukraine.
No, it's this one.
From Ukraine. Here's the thanks to all of you.
There, look at that
from
thing.
54th Mechanized Brigade. So thank you. And this project is about to raise money for reconnaissance drones. The main task for reconnaissance drones is to get to more information, to gather more information in the proper time, in the needed time, as soon as possible, for saving lives. So this project about saving lives of Ukrainians. Let's save more life.
There you have it.
Yeah, and that's exactly the sentiment. That's what we're trying to accomplish, is save more Ukrainian soldiers' lives, and that's pretty much it. There's a couple of things here. If you have questions, put them in a chat for us. I know some of you were asking. Okay, it says 1,111. It has not updated here yet,
Correct.
so it will take some time. I'm not sure exactly when it'll or how it'll update, but it will get there. So
the links
please be
will
patient.
be in this video and will be in all of my videos and profs until we fulfill this project. So I know
Right.
we're all going to be interested to be checking. So just, if you want to see, it's public. Go back to this video, go to the description, click the link. And I'm sure this updates every few hours. It's not running automatically.
All my videos
in
moving
real time.
forward will also have the link below, and so you'll be able to see it there. So
Yes,
and I'll
so
keep you updated on what's going on.
we're going to be excited to see this happen together, and we just want to say thank you. Reb Tyree here saying, Greg, this is a worthy cause to save lives. It is a worthy cause. When we look at nations, Professor Gertis, and we just, if we stay here live a little bit longer, more people are hopping in and seeing what we're doing. But when we see just the complete disregard of human life coming from Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-un or other evil leaders around the world, it makes me feel good to be a part of a community and family together with all these wonderful supporters of ours that care about saving lives. And Ukraine is always talking about saving lives. And it's so important because the value of life and the sanctity of life is just, it's gone in Putin's mindset. It's irrelevant. When you are so evil that you will challenge the West to basically a missile contest, and let's do it over the city of Kyiv, where
Well, he was
basically
bored
5
after
million
all.
people. Exactly. Come on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you have any questions in there that you want to answer? I'm looking at my chat and seeing if anybody has anything that they want to communicate.
No, but I did. I just want to say thank you. I'm watching the chat go by. People in here talking about justice is everything. That's a comment coming down right now. Here, Prof and Greg are a great combination, as are a few of both Greg and Prof's connections. Their content is now required listening YouTube for me. Thank you for that. Normality remembered. And I wanted to put that comment up there because I like that name, Normality Remembered. And that's what we're doing. We're remembering normalcy by trying to save lives.
We need more of that.
Here you go. Robert Baggio at Greg, or I'll add at Prof for this. You give us hope and knowledge to beat Russian propaganda. Professor does that as well every day. It's so important that you stick to the narrative daily. Lots of sacrifices are made on all of us that are trying to put out content daily and update you, especially in regard to misinformation and disinformation. And I just remind you that Russia's been preparing for this for decades, and the world is now catching up. But it is so beautiful to recognize that the true world, global community standing with Ukraine cares about life. And that's the big difference, guys. Listen, if the message is evil and death, it's not the message you want to be a part of. It's how you differentiate just core.
So it got kind of stuck on at 10 donations with $1,100.
I'll bring it to us right now.
Somebody just put into the chat there's now 70 donations. I guess when you have just done the thing, you can see how many donations there are, but it hasn't updated on the official web page yet. So I would imagine we're north of there.
Well,
so
awesome.
So
thank you everybody. All. So if we're up to 70 donations, if somebody donates, can you just give us an update? Or maybe it won't tell. We can't see it. And this is something.
Well, I try to refresh the page. And
I am too. I'm refreshing like crazy.
The main page itself. Yeah.
Oh, Mark Bisque. I got to mention this guy here, Prof. Let me go to this camera so you're not blocked. Mark Bisque, great calls. We are happy to contribute. Let me tell you who Mark Bisque is. Mark and Elena are Canadian, but she's Ukrainian. Johnny Pierce and Zhenya and myself and Pierre, we had dinner with her mother in Snigorivka, down in southern Ukraine, Kherson, Mykolaiv area. And these are such great donators and caregiving people for Ukraine. I wanted to give Mark and Elena a shout out. We're happy to contribute. And that's, we know that's what happens because it's a worthy cause. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to be so pumped to get there and get to the 54th. And we just go on a live again and have some of the 54th guys there and let them say thank you. We just don't give up and we don't quit. That's it. Well, they said it themselves, right? So for the 70 who have donated, here's a couple clips for you, or it may be more now. Thank you.
Don't give up. Keep on fighting.
There you go. Don't give up. Keep on fighting. That's the 54th, and boom.
Слава Україні!
So we thank you for that, guys. And once again, if you donate 110 US dollars, you will be receiving that patch anywhere in the world.
Did anybody put in your chat what they've seen as a total so far?
So no, but I'm getting a message from Alien Anywhere. Send. We've got some unique screen names in tonight, and I'm loving it.
You remembered one. That's an awesome name.
Just click on the donate button to see the updated total.
Oh,
the yellow one, maybe. Yes. We're at 7,345. I can actually push that to the screen here.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, let me do that for us. There. And this is how it lays out. Perfect. Even $110, you'll get a patch, 222 patches, 810, 3 patches, and a Ukrainian unit patch. 1630, 3 patches, Ukrainian unit patch, and plus.
So now some of the other numbers are things like
That's
writing
for
on a
vehicles.
truck. That's not relevant
Correct.
to
We're
us
not doing that.
necessarily,
But I will tell you this, we're going to the 54th and you're going to see them. You can dedicate in donation or honor of someone, write a comment. But at the bottom, $7,374.35 raised of the 30,000 goal, 76 donations. So
that's awesome.
In 40 minutes. So we're so grateful, guys. I'm just in awe of the care of people. Thank you.
You know, when we met Pete, well, when I met Pete the first time, we were in a video, and I was sitting there. He said, "Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm in awe." I'm like, "You're in awe of me? What are you talking about? I'm like I'm in danger of getting a paper cut. Like that's it." What?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. But tell me what?
Okay. 300 watching on my channel right now, 612 watching live on your channel, about 900 live watching joint. Guys, thank you, Prof. Talking about Pete. We had made a promise at the funeral of Pete. I was there in Kyiv.
Oh, yeah.
We were facilitating all of that. Guys and everybody, if you don't know Pete or you're just new to Prof's channel or my channel, I'm sure you've heard of Pete. Pete and I were brothers, man. We just became brothers. I became very close with his family. I was the power of attorney for Peter's family, for Marose, for his sister Sally, his brother Paul, Peter and Paul, and also his daughter there in London. And we raised all the money basically in a day to take care of the funeral expenses. And it was way up there. Over 10,000 US dollars. And then we made the statement that whatever else comes in, we will make a donation to the family of Pete Fouché. So more kept coming in. And I can tell you right now that the good people of the world, part of my channel, Professor Gertis's channel, our church here, others around the world, we just wired 2 days ago 10,000 US dollars to Marose and to Pete's daughter. It is done, and Pete's sister Sally has already received it, and a $10,000 donation has been made to the Fouché family. It will go to help some expenses for Marose and also for Pete's daughter. So there you have it. We're able to announce it, and that's why I was so excited. We do what we say we will do. And thank you all.
That's right. And you'll see this into January, February. That's part of that's kind of the twist here. Generally we've just done things through Greg's channel. And one of the things that we want to do was we're not trying to just do our own thing. We're doing the NAFO patch, we're part of this same thing, just like Anna, just like Jake Bro, just like whoever else is out there doing these things. We're team players, and this is a way of making sure that they're sourcing these drones where they need to go with Greg's connections. We're like, well, okay, we can get them something. No, here's where we need to go. Let's get them to the right places. And Greg's got his ear to the ground, and so it all just works out because of the synergy that we bring to it. So that's your support, my support, Greg's support, NAFO's support, right? And we're all just there trying to help these soldiers. So thank you so much, those of you who donated tonight.
Okay, now you're gonna make me tell a story that I was never gonna tell.
Okay.
Not that I
I
don't
won't
want to
tell.
tell it. I just didn't have an opportunity or the right place to tell it, but I will tell you now. When you're talking about synergy, it reminds me of the early days when we were partnering together. I was Dr. Energy and you were Dr. Synergy. So energy and synergy are back, and we're thankful for that. But I can tell you, you know, we don't just do our own thing. It's everybody working together. And when you're inside Ukraine, you see it all. Like you see the power of it. Like Red Cross, 0. United Nations, 0. YouTubers, Cars for Ukraine.
Yep. And they're doing a campaign too. And by
Phenomenal.
the way, we're not trying to steal anybody's thunder.
No.
If you in your heart of hearts wants to give to Cars for Ukraine, do that. That's great stuff. It's anything that you do helps. Anything that you do matters. We just particularly see this need. I'm fascinated by this, and I think this is just going to have a multiplier effect. So that's why we're moving down this direction. But give to wherever will be helpful. And we're not trying to take anybody's thunder.
NAFO, anything. Samaritan's Purse is the #1 aid organization on the front lines, period. It's not even close, guys.
Yep.
It's not even close. And I will be happy to show you guys video like crazy of Samaritan's Purse volunteers. They're on the very front lines of Ukraine. But I will tell you this, when you're talking about partnerships, when I was out there in the summer in the very east, we were going out and we were visiting Pete's home, and we were with Pete's unit, and I was sitting down and chatting with the soldier who removed Pete's body from the battlefield in a heroic effort. He was driving a NAFO truck donated by Jake Bro. And I took a picture and I called, or I messaged Jake Bro, and I said, dude, your truck that you raised to help through NAFO is here, utilized by this group who just helps with bringing closure for Pete Fouché. It's all working together. And he was so happy to hear that. And that's the beauty of it. So it's powerful.
It's a very strange networked organization in a sense of like the way that we've come together to work on things. We're all doing this independently, but trying to find where we can collaborate and amplify what we're trying to accomplish. None of us are really coordinated. We're just all trying to do our best and figure out what's the most effective way of getting there. So it's interesting to watch. And somebody, Prepper Nation here said the ability of free people collaboratively to provide crucial financial support to good people in need, Ukrainian heroes, is a strong argument for liberal democracies and free market economies. That's right. I mean, you don't see this kind of thing coming out of an authoritarian regime. It's because free people recognize that people need to be free. And so thank you all. We really appreciate all your support, all your help in this. And if this is on your heart to give here, give here. If it's somewhere else, somewhere else. That's not the question. The question is, how can you help? Just find your place in the line, whatever it is. I find that I can be useful by trying to explain things and try to make simple, complex issues simplified. And so I'm trying to explain what's going on. Greg actually travels to the front line, and he's been in country, 21 years, was it, Greg? How long you been in Ukraine?
This will be my 27th year working in Ukraine.
27 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Find your place in the line, whatever that is, and we thank you for it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that's all we can say. Somebody put in my chat, Leslie Bowe did, this will be done in a week at this rate. We're already over 7,300. And that's our goal. To be honest, we were talking about it just this afternoon, preparing for this.
Mhm.
We'd really like to have this accomplished by January the 1st when I get there, and then we can get to the 54th. We're at 87 donations, over 8,145 of the $30,000 goal, 27 life-changing reconnaissance drones, and we've explained those to you, and we will continue to. The links will stay, and we will accomplish this. But what I'm just so excited about is that you can actually see the results of it. You can see the joy on soldiers' faces. You can get feedback real time. And that's one of my joys for, I did not start working in Ukraine ever thinking that this is what I would be doing. Okay, that's the truth. When I was working in Ukraine in the very early days, I had no idea that we would be on the brink of World War III, and I would be YouTubing, sitting here on YouTube with a NAFO patch and some professor who has a Christmas hat on trying to help Ukrainians. But this is where fate, or God's destiny, or as Johnny Pierce would say, the aligning of Mars and Jupiter, whatever your value system of beliefs for that, that's great. One thing for sure, we're agreeing on the same thing, and helping Ukraine is the right thing to do. And I personally believe, even on a different topic, but connected, Prof, I personally believe that when governments of the world see how much crowdsourcing and crowdfunding care there is for Ukraine. Okay, let me tell you guys, and I'll ask this question. I'm sure people have heard of this name, but the name is Sternyenko.
Mhm.
He's a blogger there in Ukraine. He's Ukrainian, over 1 million followers, huge, but everything he does is in the Ukrainian language. So
Mhm.
if you're not a Ukrainian speaker, you're going to gain little value out of it because you just can't understand it. But let me just translate this for you. Sternyenko, on average, every day in his community of Ukrainians and people globally, are donating between 200 and 500 FPV drones. Now, that's a completely different type of drone, but every day. And when you begin to extrapolate that out, and now to little projects like we're doing here, and we're so thankful and grateful, but the value, you think about the value of one life, it's more than $30,500. I promise you that. And we're looking at saving dozens and dozens and hopefully hundreds and thousands of lives. But the point I was trying to make, there is a massive global crowdfunding going on to stand with Ukraine. And my hope and desire in my core of being is that people who are in places of power, and we're not talking about politics, but any nation, can look and see that this is something that the world values, with that much resource coming from just people. So that's my hope. It helps to even bring more support.
So I've got 2 things before we go. Can you just make my screen big and not you?
Sure, I can. Do you want to be soloed? Boom.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not kidding that we do work on other campaigns as well, guys, right? This was from a previous campaign. This was Jake's $1 million campaign. And so I want you to understand, it doesn't matter where you give, as long as you're giving, and giving to a legitimate source like NAFO or So, and people were asking about, you can switch over to the campaign page, Greg.
Coming at
So
you,
people
sir.
were asking,
I'm
where
now-
do you,
Hey, right there. Boom.
where do you, go back to the actual, okay, under donate, under the yellow donate button to the right, you'll see request the patch. So if you have donated 110 or more, that's where you go to request the patch, and you have to fill out a form with your address and that sort of thing so that they know how to send it to you. And so that's a next step if you have donated more than, and you should get an email explaining that as well. So thank you all, those of you who have been willing to donate, and this is on your heart. And if it's not, that's fine. If you don't have the money, don't feel bad. Spread, like, if you can just send a link to people,
Yeah.
do that. Like
Well,
just anything that you can do helps, regardless of what
saw
it is that you
your
can do.
I saw somebody in your chat because I've got all the tabs open so I can get you whatever you need, production wise. But I saw somebody in your chat just say, donated, and basically I'm summarizing. We'll get a patch. Best Christmas gift I ever bought. There was roughly that was the comment from somebody in your chat, and
That's awesome.
yeah. So thank you. Anything else you want to cover tonight? So we will continue with
No.
this. I commit to you. I know Zhenia's probably in here watching. We will get more information and details on these particular drones and do another update. These links will be active in our videos or live streams going forward. And yes, we would like to accomplish this by January 1. At that point, I'll be arriving, get into there to the 54th in the next few weeks, and let those guys
we'll
at the
give you
54th talk to you.
We'll give you brief updates in videos, and then we'll do periodic video, like standalone, to get you, some information about where we are. But what I see as we're closing out is that we have 90 donations now. So 80 since we started this just now, because it just went live yesterday, and we just had to edit something out and change it a little bit here and there just to tweak it before it went live. So there's now 8,405. So 7,000 and change just came in the last hour. So thank you. On behalf of those soldiers who will survive, because this kind of thing was there for them.
There's Zhenya over on your channel. You getting Zhenya in your channel. Great community here. I told you he was lurking around somewhere.
Yep. There he is.
Yes. So thank you guys. Thank you to everybody. We appreciate it. And, I don't know. We'll get more information. Zhenya's watching the stream. He'll get even more information for us to share. But guys, we'll keep you updated and push this hard over Christmas week.
And thanks all for being the kind of people that care about Ukraine.
That's for sure. And I would say, Slava Ukraina.
Heroyam Slava.
And you have perfect pronunciation for a sweater vested professor with a Christmas elf hat on. You guys have a good
I always
night.
pronounce everything properly, don't I?
You do. Hey, thank you guys. We appreciate all of you. I'm going to hit stop stream now. This is not a normal live stream with intros and outros. This was all about this. Let me show it one last time. This is the patch. The angels, the eyes in the sky. We thank you guys.